Hello, everybody. You're listening to Profoundish. You know what's always creeped me out? Slender Man. In just a moment, Weston and I will be going back in time to revisit our first experiences with not only Slender Man, but also Marble Hornets, the series that really brought Slender Man to the public eye. But make sure to stick around, because after that, Weston will be playing a game where he has to guess what Halloween decorations I'm talking about, based on clues that I give him. But all of the clues are Amazon reviews. All right, let's get into it. This is Profoundish. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Profoundish. My name is Alex Duquette. What's your name?
For just a moment there, I truly thought you forgot your own name. You're always making fun of me for not knowing yours. I'm Weston Hasty. Welcome to Profoundish.
Hey, Weston, have we ever talked about your name before?
I don't think we have. I think we should talk about my name for the next 5 minutes straight. Did you know hasty in the English dictionary means rapid or quick?
No, I didn't. But, how you feeling? You feeling all right?
I'm feeling pretty good. Took a nap earlier. Usually I come out of naps feeling like the actual dead, but it's not that I didn't feel dead after this nap, but I you know what? I feel undead. I think that's good enough. That's kind of a baseline energy level for me, is undead.
Undead?
Nah,
okay,
like a vampire
fair.
or something.
Right. Well, you're very white and pasty like one.
I am.
Like a vampire.
It's because I am.
So
you'll notice that I can't enter people's houses until I've been invited in. I will stand at the door until someone asks me to come in.
It's always been that way. Trust me. We've been friends a long time. It's always been that way.
It's actually, it's kind of true, actually. I will be, like, talking to someone. They're like, you know you can come in. I'm like, yes, I couldn't, but now I can.
Right. I mean, you never told me to. I just got done doing a jam and chat, a little behind the curtain. Tonight in particular, we as we're recording this, I just got done doing a jam and chat. Check that out. Fun musical improv show.
On Tuesdays. Jam and chat on YouTube on Tuesdays.
Yes, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on YouTube. You know what's funny? I thought I'd share this with you, a little behind the curtain, too. If you're a Jam and Chat fan already listening, you might want to cover your ears. We'll see. But the minute I turn off the lights, like the camera lights, like I'm so hot because that light is beating down on me.
Yeah.
I'm hot. It doesn't matter. The air doesn't circulate very well in here. As soon as that light's off, my pants are coming down. I skivvy down to my boxer shorts and I just get comfortable. Sorry, I'm just going to say it right here, right now. It's true.
Your camera angle is different from mine. I completely understand that. The streamer, like, heat of the lamps, the computer, the high of just talking all the time and being engaged and active. Your camera angle is different from mine, so I get you have to wait until after the stream. That complete honest truth, I have taken my pants off during streams.
Was it an announcement? Like, ladies and gentlemen, I will now be taking off my pants. Or is it more just like you kind of slip them off without people noticing?
I'll just like in between doing things because my keyboard desk area, it doesn't show. I'll just kind of like slip my hands under the camera's like view or whatever, like unbuckle. I've taken belts off, unzipped. I've just slid pants off. No one ever catches it. No one says anything. No one has any idea. I'm just undressing on stream. No one has any idea.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious to me. I could just imagine. So I'm going to be paying attention. Just going to have my best ears on, watching your next stream, and just hear if I can hear that belt buckle.
It's more common than you'd realize. Last episode of this that we shot of this podcast, I took my pants off during the podcast.
Ooh, I would love to know what part.
And I didn't mute it, so you have to go back and listen very carefully to see if you can hear the swoosh of jeans.
I got to use my audio engineering expertise and just boost up that one little tiny spot. Speaking of computers, Weston, and having no pants on.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. We're not going anywhere in that rabbit hole. However, I do want to talk to you a little bit because there's been something on my mind as we get closer to, kind of the spookiest time of the year.
Spooky.
I think about a memory that you and I share of something very spooky.
Ooh.
Something that really kind of got to us and really took up some of our time for a short while. I would say, I think in our like freshman year of college days. So put yourself back around the 2012 era, 2013, right around there.
Now, goodness.
Yeah, a long time ago. Do you remember introducing me to something? A little series on YouTube, little found footage series.
Yeah, I imagine.
Does that ring a bell at all?
I think, should I say it? I think what you're talking about is the Marble Hornets series.
Yes, Marble Hornets series, and by extension as well, Slender Man.
Yeah,
and the game Slender, and that whole era, that game, because I think my first exposure was actually the game itself, which I'm sure many of you listening are probably at least familiar with, or I think there's multiple versions now. Or,
yeah, it used to just be called Slender. They renamed it to Slender and the 8 Pages, and then eventually they made I don't think it was the same developer. There was another full-blown game, like a full-blown Steam game that came out at some point. We're talking about the game you just downloaded from a random website. It used to be called Slender. They changed it to Slender in the 8 Pages, based on the Marble Hornets series around the iconic Slender Man.
Right. Yeah, that game. I don't play scary games. Like it's just not my cup of tea. But I remember watching you play it, believe it or not, on your YouTube channel years ago.
It was my first ever Let's Play.
Interesting. I knew it was early. I didn't know it was your first.
My first actual Let's Play of gameplay whatsoever. Not my first video, which was actually an animation. My first Let's Play was Slender in the 8 Pages. Yep.
And I remember, and you need to tell us all of this now, live, on the air, that you did a lot of screaming. There's a lot of scaredness. was that what's it called? What's the phrase you say when it's like fake? Phased in, not phased in. Something in. I can think with the
phased, faux,
real,
cheesed up.
Cheesed up. You know what I mean? Was it cheesed up or was that genuine?
So I didn't. This was my first Let's Play. This is 2012. This is 10 years ago. I didn't really know how to act yet. I'd done stuff live action with you before, sure, but I'd never done a Let's Play. So I had not been used to interacting for a camera on my own whilst playing a video game. You know, having that split attention between playing a game and actually acting for the camera. So no, everything is pretty genuine, with the exception of if I was doing it myself, I wouldn't be sitting there talking to myself. I'd just be playing the game like most people do. But beyond that, no, it was not cheesed up or hammed up or reeled in or faked up or whatever. That was pretty. That was genuine. That game is actually terrifying. It's the ambience. The ambience is so. It puts a pressure in your chest. It's so claustrophobic. Actually, there's a spooky game. It's not nearly as good as Slender. It's more like a walking simulator that I just recently played on my own. That I was going to make a video out of. It has either come out on my Magic Man Mo channel by now, or it hasn't. I haven't decided. It's like a walking simulator. It's the Complex found footage, I think is what it's called. It's a backrooms game. I don't know if you are familiar with the backrooms or not. I played that recently, and the ambience of that game, I was immediately like, this feels like Slender Man. This feels like it. Because it has that oppressive, like, just nature to it. It feels claustrophobic. The resolution's kind of funky. Yes. The graphics are weird. Like in Slender, it was kind of grainy just because it was not very good graphically. This new game that I was playing was like VHS type style, so they were both kind of grainy. They're both claustrophobic. They were both like the sound design was very like unnerving. But anyway, we're not talking about the Complex. We're talking about Slender. And man, that game it had a way of making you lean into the computer and try to see through the forest and through the trees. You're looking for these 8 notes, so you're like, did I see one? Or maybe you saw a shadow. You're like, did I see Slender Man? And you were just constantly on the vigil to see what you're looking for.
And you could be going for minutes and minutes and minutes without even an inkling of him being close by. Because, you know, if you're unfamiliar with the game, basically what'll happen is, and jog my memory if I'm wrong, because it's been a long time since I've even touched that game, but I just remember, like, it would start to get staticky and fuzzy a little bit if he was anywhere close, and then the closer he was in that exact moment, it would get even thicker, basically. Am I correct?
Yeah, your screen would start to go static if he was close and nearby.
Right. And oh my gosh. And of course, at the end of the day, it's possible to get away if you encounter him, but it's not easy.
No.
And usually he ends up directly in front of your face. You turn around, he's right there, and then it's just a jump scare, basically. But it is horrifying. I have memories of me, you, your brother, and the rest of the guys, all like in my basement when I lived at home, and we were gathered around my laptop playing that game. I'm pretty sure you introduced it to us, or at least to me. And I remember this was during the same time where you and your brother already had either watched or were watching Marble Hornets, because this was all around that same time.
Yeah.
And I remember you introduced it to me, so I was going through it, and I was actually watching it with our friend Logan. Him and I were kind of watching it in sync, kind of in tandem together. And you'd watch it with us, too. You were kind of rewatching it, I think. So in Marble Hornets, I guess, do you want to explain what that is? You might be better explaining it than me.
The premise is this group of friends. I don't remember. I think they were supposed to be in college or something. I think they were going to like film school or something like that. So they were supposed to be shooting a movie or a series or something together. And as they're doing so, they find in all their like tapes and recordings evidence of unnatural things occurring. I think this takes place, like the actual main storyline takes place after the group has basically already split up. Because the like project falls apart or something, and they're going back through the footage and finding footage and realizing that the reason they were splitting up and so sick and fighting all the time is because of these unnatural occurrences that were happening as a result of Slender Man basically stalking the group. So throughout these sort of found footage short videos that were supposed to, like the idea was that they were being digitized and put on YouTube as they were found on VHS, right? You would watch these videos of just these weird little bits of things happening that weren't like super weird, just kind of off. Like maybe it'd be a dialogue between two characters that kind of goes south and you don't quite know why. And every now and again, there'd just be some sort of disturbance in the videotape. And in the really exciting ones, you would see maybe Slender Man's actually just hanging out in the background and you don't even notice, or walking by, or has in a couple of the really big episodes where he actually kind of like attacks in a sense.
Yep.
And they were just the build up, the anticipation, that just
of
the time nothing is happening. They're just kind of off. And the anticipation that something horrible is going to happen at any second just gets to you. And it feels so real.
It does. Well, the kind of off feeling is almost the worst because it's just kind of off and you can't figure out why. Well, the thing is, too, that we should mention is that, at least to my knowledge, he's never mentioned as Slender Man. Now, I don't...
No,
is this the...
I think in the
Is this the origin of Slender Man?
I think technically no. He's never called Slender Man in Marble Hornets whatsoever. But I don't think Marble Hornets actually originated Slender Man. I think he was an internet creepypasta before that basically no one had ever heard of. And Marble Hornets, what they did is they popularized the character and gave him a lot of the attributes and characteristics that people actually know him for today came from or was inspired by Marble Hornets. But I think Slender Man as a concept himself did not originate with Marble Hornets.
That's fair. And I figured it'd be something along those lines. They at least kind of popularized if I can say that word, popularized some of the tropes that he's kind of known for now. But it's all I know is that our group of friends, we all watched Marble Hornets together, and they were at the time they were still putting them out.
Yeah,
like there were still new ones coming out.
The newest episode was 8 years ago, so yeah, they were still putting them out for a while after we discovered it.
Right, and so that was a really fun thing to keep up on. We'd always talk about it when we'd see the next one. It was genuinely scary to me, because it's so easy to try to get caught up in it. At least for me, it was easy and fun and also scary to get caught up in it, but I let myself do it. And I was like, oh, I'm watching this, and we're going to talk about it later. And there were so many strange characters that showed up later, and it was so interesting. I still have a distinct memory. It's one of the earlier episodes. Do you remember the one? It's like episode 4 or 5 or something, and I think it's the first time you just see him. Just a little bit. It's nothing crazy. Like I said, eerily early on, but they're at the park in the dark. It's like dark outside, and there's like a swing set, and he's like
the swing set
passing
is,
I
swing set.
at entry number 4. Yeah, I'm on their channel right now looking at it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So that I think that one was the first time you actually just see him, and it's just a quick thing. You can barely even see him. It's like he's just kind of walking by, but oh my gosh, it was something special, and I think it's kind of unique too that, at least for a YouTube series, right? Like a found footage series, that doesn't seem very, very common in the YouTube space.
Especially...
So that was really cool to see too.
Yeah, especially the introduction. The first episode, just called Introduction, came out 13 years ago. So we are talking about 2009, the found footage horror scene on YouTube. I don't think that was a scene. So it was definitely something when it came out. And there were other channels too that were kind of attached. So there's like a deeper universe that goes beyond just the one Marble Hornets channel. There was more stuff around it, and they were all different characters playing a part. It was wild.
You just completely reminded me of that, because there was characters. I remember there was like the character with the mask.
Yep.
But then they had a YouTube channel, and they would comment on the videos. And I can't remember what they said, but it'd be like, take this down or something. I don't know what it said now, but
it was really spooky.
It was so eerie. Such a cool concept. Like the creator in me is like, dang, why didn't I come up with something like that? That is so cool. But no, it was really fun to kind of be involved in. The other one, and do you remember this one too? I'll make it quick, but the one where one of the guys they're like laying in a bed, and then there's like that file cabinet or like that dresser in the corner.
Yeah.
And then the lights go out, and then lights come back on. That person with the mask is sitting on that dresser, just staring at the person in the bed.
Yeah, and
do you remember that at all?
And it sounds so cheesy now because you can imagine how it would be shot. But at the time, the way the films are set up, I seriously was concerned for the well-being of I forget the name of anybody in it, but the guy that was sleeping in the bed. I felt so alarmed for his safety, since the mask guy was in that room, like something's going to happen. God, it was so seat of your pants, just kind of stuff. I really recommend it. It's spooky season. Look at Marble Hornets on YouTube, everybody, and just start with Introduction. The first very many episodes are very short. Just get sucked into that universe. It's so creepy.
It is so creepy, and yeah, just kind of, if you're into that sort of thing, just kind of let it take you where it goes, because it is a wild journey. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It kind of the universe is way deeper than I thought. But I know with the Slender game, the game itself, that game, I had my whole family playing it. It was like a phenomenon for a while. Obviously, PewDiePie played it. That was right. He played it.
Yeah, right? All the big names at the time did. PewDiePie, Markiplier, whatever other names there were at the time. Yeah. So yeah, it took over, and I just remember getting my own mother to play Slender Man was hilarious. Or Slender, sorry. She must have been terrified.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was, yeah, she didn't make it too far. She's a shrieker. I mean, she shrieks. My mom will jump onto the table, like the classic Bloody Mary scream if she sees a mouse. You know what I mean? So, God forbid it's a faceless man in a suit coming to kill her. So, do you remember? Okay, well, of course you remember this. The scariest part of the game is that the weird bathroom, or the tiled little room in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I think everyone called it a bathroom or an outhouse or whatever, but it was the house, the tiled floors, and the couple of different rooms. I don't even remember if there was furniture in the rooms or not, but everyone knew it as the bathroom. And because you had to go inside, and it just always felt like every time you're going to turn a corner, there weren't a lot of rooms, but every time you turned a corner, Slenderman could be right there and it's over. I'm dead. I am going to die. Or because Slender could kind of teleport, right? So you could go in, find a note or not find a note, then you have to leave. And that was sometimes scarier than going in it.
Yes.
Now I have to leave.
I know.
I've got no other choice, but now I have to leave, and he's going to be there.
Now, you beat the game, right?
I did not.
You never beat it?
I never beat it.
How many pages did you get?
I had gotten pretty far. I don't remember what the max was. There were 8, obviously. I think I made it to 6 or 7. I think I made it within a note or two, but I never did actually beat it.
I think it's funny because, and me neither. I think the most I've gotten is like 5, I think. But I think it's funny because if you do beat the game, you unlock like day mode.
Yeah.
Where's the fun in that?
It's just a goofy, fun little thing. Like, hey, you beat it, so here's like, you can see it all in daylight now. Why not?
Right. Why not? Let's have fun. Yeah. That was, I remember like Slender and like Amnesia, like these games that Let's Players were playing at the time. Those horror games seemed to be kind of in the forefront of like Let's Players for a while. Like that seemed to be pretty common for a bit, like those horror games. Do you remember that? Like
weird.
There was an era of that.
Yeah, well, it's weird because a few horror games got really big on YouTube, but in those early days, horror as a genre wasn't doing very well, and there weren't actually that many horror games really out to play anyway. Like, there was actually kind of a glut, or is that... maybe that's not the right word, but there was an absence in horror games in the genre, in the gaming universe, just in general, not even in the Let's Play universe, just in games. There wasn't a lot of horror out.
Just in gaming,
so a couple of the indie hits that did happen, like you have your Slender, you have your Amnesia, which I did eventually beat in a Let's Play, and then also like random like other like Mad Father and Ebe were really big on YouTube. Those were like
I remember those,
the RPG Maker type style games. Got really big on YouTube, but there wasn't a lot. But because those games did get really big in those early days, all of a sudden developers started taking risks and making more games. And actually, today, the horror community is still really big and thriving on YouTube, despite all of the demonetizations around scary and gory stuff on YouTube. There's actually a more thriving community now than there was back then. But back then, those Let's Players, I think, really helped pave the way by being just screaming, terrified idiots on the internet for people to watch and laugh at.
I guess. As somebody who's been kind of blind to horror games forever, just because I'm a scared boy, for me, it was like, oh, wow, I didn't even know, like, these... I know it sounds lame, but, like, I didn't even know games like this really were a thing, just like these... Or even the games that came a little later, like your Outlasts and stuff, where it just literally run, survive, that's it. Like, simple as that, those sorts of games. Like, at first, it kind of seemed like, to me, I actually did play a little bit of Outlast, not much. I think you did, right?
I played all of
right?
Outlast and its DLC and all of Outlast 2, and I did that on stream, and it's out there. You can watch it. I don't want to play more Outlast. I'm just so scared.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. I can only imagine. Just think about it. I mean, if a game's core concept is, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, it's basically running and hiding and making it to the end of wherever you're going,
basically,
correct? I mean, that's what it is.
The core of both games are that way. The story behind Outlast 2 is slightly more complicated, but yeah, like Outlast 1 is literally, I came here to investigate this asylum, now I'm stuck in it, and all I want to do is leave. All I want to do is leave, and everything in here wants to kill me, and it is impossible to get out. And there's like a story that unravels as you're doing it that is just buck wild that I won't like spoil for you, just in case you'd feel like going down that rabbit hole one day, because it does go buck wild by the end. But that's the core of the experience, is just run. You cannot fight. The things that you that are in that asylum, they are going to kill you. You do not fight, you run.
Oh my gosh. I know for a while too, you played quite a few like horror or horror-esque games, because those both games you mentioned earlier, Mad Father and Ebe, you played both of those. I remember that.
I played and beat those. I was not a horror player before doing YouTube whatsoever, but again, like some of those games, they popped up on YouTube and were popular, and since I was doing YouTube, I'm like, well, maybe it'll make for a fun show. Especially since I don't play horror, I'm going to be terrified and I'm going to hate it. And honestly, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would not have forced myself to put myself through that, because I don't enjoy horror. So I just would never have done it. But because I was like, well, now I'm on camera, and now I kind of feel like I have to, right? I have to keep going. I can't just stand scared in the corner of this room until I just turn the game off. You know what I mean?
Right.
It really helped me push through, actually.
Well, and plus, you can experience something that, like you said, you otherwise wouldn't have.
Right.
And kind of see what parts of horror games you may actually kind of like, or like if you discover certain subgenres that you actually end up enjoying, because I know, obviously, any genre of game can be broken down into multiple subs. if you will.
And
so,
like you said, actually it did. It gave me an opportunity to experience a kind of gaming that I had no inclination that I was ever going to experience. And weirdly enough, I'm glad I did, because it's helped enrich my sort of understanding of like narrative, of gameplay, of just what's out there, right?
Sure, yeah. Did you play it was the PlayStation game, Until Dawn? You play that one?
I have not played Until Dawn. I think it's on PC too.
Really?
I know what it is. I did watch some gameplay of that because it was really big on YouTube at the time. That's the one that Gela was a huge fan of, right?
Yes, that's
what I
correct.
thought.
In fact, you were in the same room as Gela and I and her husband Dave. Shout out to our friends over at Camp Nostalgic. We played that together one night. All four of us, when we did Coffee at 8.
Yeah, we may have. I couldn't remember. I thought we probably did, because I remember talking to her about it, probably during Coffee at 8 at some point. I knew she was a big fan of that, and I knew it was big on YouTube at the time, so I've seen some of it. I've never played it myself, and I've never seen the ending as a result, but it was really big. I think I would have enjoyed playing it. I just never picked it up and just never did it.
It's for me, especially as someone who's not a huge fan of horror either, and like inherently, I think it's that kind of stuff is really fun with friends. You sit down with your friends, go, ooh, and then you can help each other decide what decision you want to make, who should I go with, whatever. That for me, the horror stuff is so like communal. Like I love being with people, and I don't know if it's a security thing. It could be just like experiencing that with others, and that's the same reason why I loved Marble Hornets and Slender so much. Was just my favorite memories are literally all of us gathered around my laptop with the lights off, this little screen. I have distinct memories of all of us. There was like 5 or 6 of us just sitting there, and we each take turns and see how far we could get. It was so much fun. Just that communal aspect of it.
It's definitely a very different experience when it's a communal one, because I think you can definitely enjoy horror as a group. And again, you kind of have that sort of safety where you're not in danger. Everyone's like laughing or scared together or whatever. And it's kind of fun to see everyone's reactions to the scary thing, to the horror. But at the same time, it's weird because I feel like to get the true essence of the horror, you should do it alone, experience alone, so you can be as terrified as possible. Like, imagine doing that by yourself with the lights off, and you're just like alone to your own thoughts and devices, and you have to survive your own imagination.
Maybe I should take a page out of your book and just go for it. But I get so scared.
I know. I much rather some of the horror I've streamed, and when I could stream it with even at least chat, it made it so much more bearable. But it is a different experience. I'm not actually saying one is better than the other, but I am saying that they are different experiences, and they're both just as valid. So, like, if you ever have the guts, like, especially since it's spooky season, it's October, if you have the guts to sit down and pick out a horror game you might have lying around, or you can get cheap and be like, I am going to terrify myself tonight by playing this game. I don't know. It's a different experience. Yeah.
I remember you telling me, because you and I had this conversation. You know what? No, we didn't. Shout out to the Hasty Podcast. This is where I heard it from. You were talking about Ink and the Bendy Machine.
Yes.
And you were talking about how, and I don't know much about that game, but I remember you saying, correct me if I'm wrong again, but that like that's a good entry into kind of like horror games if you're not really used to them. Is that correct?
I called it baby's first horror game, and I don't mean to say it like that way to be condescending, but it's by baby's first horror game. I mean, it's very accessible to walk in as a horror game, and weirdly enough, because of its chapters, the way it breaks the game up into chapters, and because the way it was developed, where they were literally actively developing it chapter to chapter based on feedback. The different chapters have different elements of different genres of horror in them. I don't think they meant to do it this way, but they did. The first chapter is very atmosphere horror, and I forget the order of the chapters now, but one of the chapters is more action horror. One of the chapters is more, I think, contemporary horror with the like running and hiding from a monster type thing. So you have actually different genres of horror throughout the entire thing. Huh. So if you want to play horror, and experience different kinds of it and choose which chapter was your favorite chapter throughout and get a little bit spooked. It's a little spooky without being like Outlast levels of gory and gross and disgusting and oh my god. Then Bendy and the Ink Machine does have a spook factor to it.
Like, to me, that sounds like a like a fine start, because it's just I'm so, I mean, just the smallest things can freak me out. Like, I don't do the movies, I don't do any of that. I've seen a couple of the classics, but I really kind of stay out of the horror genre as a whole, and that's something that you and I have never really talked about. That's one reason why I'm kind of happy we're talking about it now, because it sounds like you don't really watch any of that stuff either, right?
I actually watch quite a bit of horror Let's Plays from time to time, especially if Markiplier is doing them. He's probably my favorite person to watch play horror. But I don't watch a lot of horror, like movies and things. So in terms of like whether I consume horror, usually I don't, which is why it's been kind of fun to get into it in games a little bit, especially around this season.
Right. See, that'd be something I'd probably enjoy watching. Not too bad, especially around this time of the year. Is once again, it's not alone with your thoughts, but watching somebody else do it, like someone like Markiplier. Like, I've always liked him. So,
you know what I really want to see you play personally, just because we're talking about maybe recommendations. If you're interested in Bendy and the Ink Machine, you could do that. I really want to see you play Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion.
I've never heard of that. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion.
Yes. It used to be called Spooky's House of Jump Scares or something, but it's Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion now. And especially if you can get it on sale or something. Actually, I think, does it say it's free right now? I think it says free. It might be. It's kind of weird because it started off super indie, so it had a couple of updates, and it's got like, yeah, I think it's free. So I think you should definitely play it. You'll start, and it looks really cute. It's really cute, and this is a very good entry-level horror where I think you can kind of ease into it, get used to the mechanics. It's pretty simple. But it's actually really unnerving eventually. You should definitely play that one.
Oh my gosh.
You have to get through 1,000 floors.
Free to play. Oh wow. That's a lot of floors.
It sure is.
It's also like very highly rated.
Yes.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I have no excuse. I don't even have to pay for it. All right, maybe I will do that. That might be fun to stream.
Yeah, you could stream it, or even if you play it by yourself. I streamed it. So I've played. I think it took me a couple streams to actually beat, but it's really fun, and like I said, it's a very accessible horror game.
The first sentence is, "Can you survive 1,000 rooms of cute terror?"
Yeah, that's the idea.
Oh boy. Okay, I'm intrigued.
You'll like it.
You know what else is free?
What's free?
A message from our sponsor.
Oh boy! Profoundish is brought to you in part by Magic Man Mo, a gaming YouTube channel run by me. We stream and we do variety Let's Plays. Check out a short stream compilation to see if it's something that you're going to be into. It's a lot of fun. I made it, so I know. That's Magic Man Mo on YouTube.
Profoundish is brought to you in part by my music. I'm a singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Most of my songs tell stories, some real, some not, but all of them speak to an experience that we all share, the human condition. Search my name, Alex Duquette, on any streaming platform. Thanks for listening. Okay, we are back! Why am I talking like this?
Because you want to, and I'm not gonna stop you.
It's Profoundish!
Welcome to Profoundish!
What's up with that?
What's up with podcasts?
Oh my gosh. So, Weston, you don't really know what we're doing right now,
I have no idea what we're about to do.
Well, you are about to play a very fun game of... the Amazon Review Guessing Game! Spooky Halloween Decorations Edition.
Okay. I was like, how do we tie this together? Okay, got it.
So, I don't have a good name, so you can help me out with that later. But the Amazon Review Guessing Game Halloween Decorations Edition. So, here's what's going to happen, all right? I've got 5 different items that you can purchase on Amazon right now that are Halloween decorations.
Okay.
Now, I'm giving you 3 tiers of hints. So we got 3, 2, and 1. So the top hint is the most vague, but has the most points, right? So it's 3. Then the next hint is 2. And then bottom one is 1. Really, the points are kind of arbitrary. I'm not going to lie. That's just kind of for fun. So
to see
but
how
anyway,
high
so
I
you
can
get down.
score. If I get like, you said how many items are there? 5?
So there's 5 items, and each thing adds up to 6. So 6 times 5 is 30. So you could potentially get up to 30 points.
Okay, so
right?
30 is a perfect score. So what are my prizes?
So here's what I was going to say. So I was thinking, because I didn't really figure this part out, but I thought if you can get above
Okay.
25
Ooh.
or 25
Yeah,
or above,
yeah.
how about that? 25 or above, I have to buy you one of these items.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm terrified to know
Of
what these
your
items
choosing.
even are. They're going to be like things that I definitely don't want.
Exactly. So we'll talk off camera, but so and then if it's anything below 25, I'm just going off the cuff here, man. I don't know. I haven't thought this far out. This
we're
much
workshopping. You gotta have tiers, right? So above 25, you're buying me an item. All right, perfect. If it's above like 15, then I get to, I don't know, advertise Magic Man Mo on my next Jam and Chat for 15 minutes straight. If it's above just 5, I'll clap once for you. And if it's below 5,
No, if it's below, if it's 5 or below, then I have Slender Man on contact, on speed dial,
no.
and I'll tell him your location.
Oh, no.
Because he's kind of rusty. He needs to know your
Oh
location.
God, I was about to say I either need to do something to you or something bad needs to happen to me. But okay,
So there it is.
No.
Slender's going to get you before 5 points. I'll keep track
Gotta
of
be
your
at
points.
least 5.
Slender's going to get right. Okay, so if you're at 15 or more, if in between, basically like I guess what 6 and 15, right?
Yeah, sure.
No.
You make the rules.
Okay, 6 and 15. I'm making the rules here. That's right. You have to give me shameless plugs for 15 minutes on a stream. And then if you get up to 25 or more, I will buy you one of these items.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay. We'll go with that. We'll see if we remember what we said by the end of this.
That's
We'll
all
hash
right.
this out in a minute.
You know, I still never ate that. I still never ate that sandwich.
Yeah, it's in the
that
post.
sandwich.
I sent it USPS. You know how long it takes. United States Post.
Oh, that. I
didn't ship.
It all
I
makes
didn't
sense
ship
now.
priority, so it could be out there for a while.
It just shows up this moldy, just old, soggy white envelope. Okay. Weston, are you ready for your first item?
Yes.
All right. So, these are these reviews kind of range from 5 stars to 1.
Okay.
So, here's your first Halloween decoration. Let's see how many hints you need to guess it. All right. The first hint. This is a hint from Annette. 3 stars. She says, came folded up, very compact. Looks flimsy, cheaply made. I stuffed it more so it wouldn't look so flat.
Oh. So how specific do I need to be with what this decoration is?
I specifically chose decorations that you don't have to be specific about. These are pretty, you'll know what they are, so you don't have to be extremely specific to get to
This
these.
sounds like it came compressed. It came like she needed to fluff it up more to get it to stand up more. So I feel like this is some kind of like not blow up, but this is some kind of like stuffing. Like it's like I'm gonna say kind of like a witch doll, like a big foofy like witch doll that maybe you can hang from like a ceiling or an awning or something like that outside. That's what I think it is. I think it's like a hanging witch.
Okay. So I will say this: you're on the right path.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. So let's go to hint number 2, if that's okay, because you're really close.
Okay.
I think you're probably going to get it from hint number 2.
Got it.
I do. Especially since you guessed what you guessed in the first one. Hint number 2. It looks so cute. Sorry, this is from Mr. Newton.
Mr. Newton.
4 stars. Super cute. It looks so cute on our tree, and it's holding up in the wind.
On their tree? Oh, I was imagining like a Christmas tree. I'm like an ornament or something. I'm like on their tree. You know, the Halloween tree. The spook tree.
Yeah. I don't. Yep.
It what in the wind? It holds up in the wind. So this is like some.
And it holds up in the wind.
So this is like.
Remember, your first guess was, I will say, was you were definitely on a very close track. I just needed a little more from you.
So this is like a stuffed up. Maybe it's not a witch. Maybe it's like a ghost. Maybe it's like a stuffed up ghost that you hang in a tree, like a ghoul, like a ghouly ghoul that you stuff up, hang from a tree branch, and it's like whoa in the wind.
Though you're actually closer before, but you're teetering. So I'm not going to move. Go back to your witch thought. I'm not gonna go to your first hint for you because go back to your witch thought. But think about this tree a little bit.
It holds up in the wind. It's a tree thing. I'm just thinking that like it's not being blown off or blown over.
This is a very some people call it cute. I would call it more funny.
Cute.
It's kind of a goofy Halloween decoration item. I think we had one growing up.
Really? I'm just trying to think like what would be super goofy. Like I'm just thinking like witches and cats and ghouls and vampires.
You're on track with witches. Which is correct. It's just this in particular was not specific enough.
Okay, all right. Is it like maybe it floats like a kite? But no, the first person had to add some more stuffing. Is this like a tree topper? Like something that you like... Well, no, you don't do... Again, it's not a Christmas tree. I'm imagining like a giant...
This is an outside tree. It's going... And remember, it says it looks cute on our tree, and it's holding up in the wind.
Maybe it's a giant black cat. Witches have black cats.
We are moving to hint number 1. All right,
no.
Here's the final hint. I mean, you were on track with witch, so I don't really... But maybe this
I don't know what this thing
picture
is.
What you... So, remember, witch is correct.
Okay,
it's just not
it's a
specific
witch.
enough. Right? So, here's the final hint. This is from Angelfish. 4 out of 5
Angelfish,
stars.
give me something good.
Not the greatest, but it works. There's not much extra info here, Weston.
Oh no, come on, Angelfish!
Cheaply made, and the broom is pretty flimsy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stuffed witch. I don't. What else?
The witch is on the tree, not hanging from the tree. It's on the tree. What's it doing? Maybe you haven't seen this item before.
She's straddling the branch and she's slapping it like yeehaw. She's trying to make the.
Okay, you know what's funny? I thought this would be one of the easier ones. Okay, do you have any final guesses on what this witch is doing?
She should be on a broom, I guess. It's a witch on a broomstick.
Yeah, and?
What do you mean, and? It's a broomstick witch that needs to be stuffed and shoved in a tree. What?
So I was just trying to. Okay, so it was. So have you ever seen the Halloween decoration? I thought once you knew it was a witch that you were going to know what this was. That's why these were pretty vague.
Oh no!
I was just trying to get you to know it was a witch. So I'm not going to give you this one, but actually, I might give you one because you did get to witch still at the very first one.
I did get witch immediately.
What this item? So I'll give you a point for that still. Have you seen those the items or the decoration of the witch that it looks like it hit the tree?
Oh, like she crashed into it?
Have you never seen that?
Maybe
it crashed into the tree.
I have. Yeah. I didn't think of that. Witch hitting tree decoration. I'm looking this up right now.
They're so common.
I didn't even consider. I'm seeing some pictures of witches hitting trees now. One of them looks like she's got the broom actually shoved up her butt. It's just it just looks that way. I'm not saying it is that way. I'm just saying it looks that way. Oh my god, no, I was not gonna guess that. I have a witch decoration at home. My parents do, and it's just like a little something you hang on your door. and it's just a stuffed witch. And it's got like she's like made out of like fabric or whatever, and that's what I was imagining. So I'm like, I don't have any other idea what you would hang. So no, I just didn't even think of that.
That's right. Well, listen, you still got witch at the beginning. We had these growing up. We went through a few of them, and I always thought it was so funny. And I just thought you would have. I was trying to get you to understand witch. That's why I brought up broom in the last hint. I thought, okay, but if he doesn't know it's a witch now, he will now, and now he'll know that it's the witch hitting the tree.
Nope,
because it's on the tree.
Never made that leap.
That's all right. Well, listen, you got a point because you did guess witch very quickly. So, all right. So far, Slender Man might get you, but we got more to go through here. So here's the next item that the next Halloween decoration. First hint. This is from Terry. 3 stars. The headline is cute but not very thick.
Okay.
Cute but not very thick. Easy to hang just about anywhere inside. This is not meant to be outside.
Oh, this sounds like this kind of like sounds like a pumpkin ornament that you'd hang like somewhere or something. But like it's not for outdoors. It's not durable. So it's like it's gonna blow away. It's gonna fall and break. Maybe it's not a pumpkin. Maybe it's like a skeleton, like a little hanging skeleton type thing.
Okay, is that your final guess?
Well, you said cute, right? Cute, not very thick. Definitely for indoors. I'm just thinking like what would need to be thick, so that I immediately jumped to like literally an ornament that you'd hang from a door. That's what I imagine. So it's like thin wood, so you wouldn't want it outside because it's gonna blow away or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a door ornament of either a skeleton and or pumpkin.
Okay, we are moving on to hint number 2.
I guess I'm nowhere close.
All right, this is a hint from Russ, 3 out of 5 stars. He says, the item was cheaply made. Legs were flimsy and would not stay in place, and the legs were flimsy and would not stay in place unless you tied them individually.
Tied to them?
The body was small. Sorry, the wording is weird here. The body was small and proportionate to the legs. It is a one-time usage decoration. I would not recommend this item.
One-time usage? See, now I'm imagining this is like...
Don't overthink that
like
line.
This feels like a lawn ornament. I'm kind of still feeling like skeleton, right? Something with legs. Like this is a lawn ornament. You stick a stake in the ground out in your lawn, and a little skeleton that's like, "Ooh, I'm a skeleton," or whatever. But like he's. What, the first person said it was for indoors, though. Like what?
Yeah, I think this particular item too. Like, I think it can be used for both. I see it as more of like an indoor thing, like at a Halloween party or something.
Then maybe I'm thinking maybe because I'm still kind of feeling like a skeleton. It must stand maybe on a table or something. Maybe a counter. I think this is a little standy skeleton statue dude, but he's like jiggly. He like jiggles and jostles. Like his parts are individual. That's why they're tying up the legs. I used to have one of those. It was a skeleton you could hang up, and he had a motion sensor in his eyes. And if you walked by, he'd start dancing and singing.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. We had a Scooby-Doo. This is for Christmas, but we had a Scooby-Doo. He was in a present, and then it was motion sensor. So you walk by, and he'd go, Scooby Snacks or whatever, and then it'd close back up, and it looked like a little gift when it would scare people. It was
Scooby Snacks. I think our skeleton, actually I said singing, I think he just laughed at you. He was like,
that sounds about right, yeah. So is skeleton your final guess?
Statue.
I'm afraid we're going to have to move to the final hint.
I have limited experience, apparently, in Halloween decorations.
With Halloween decor. Here we go. This final hint, this is a review from Lakeen. 4 out of 5 stars. Fuzzy little dude.
Fuzzy?
Overall, a cheap way to add some spooky to your season. I currently have him wrapped around a pillar on my porch, which is covered in webs, to spook the local kids without being too scary.
Oh, this is a giant, like, outdoor spider, indoor-outdoor spider. The first person says it should be indoor. This is like a giant outdoor spider that you wrap around like a post, a tree, or something, and just kind of hang out.
And his legs were flimsy.
Yeah, so you
know
kind
what
of
I mean?
wrap his legs around things or whatever.
That is correct. Ding, ding, ding. You got it on that final hint.
Well, the final hint was pretty obvious, I feel like. But yeah, it's a spider.
I had to get there. Yep. All right. So far you have 2 points. You got to break at least 5 to not be seen by Slender.
I'm gonna get seen and probably murdered by Slender. This is unfortunate for me.
All right,
you're not gonna have a podcast after this. You have to be solo.
I know. I can't play games by myself. You do that. That's your thing. All right. So here is item number 3. First hint is from Daryl. It's 5 stars. The main line is perfect for Halloween decor. Well, of course it is. His review is, all you have to do is plug it in. No assembly required. Stayed on all the time. Such a cute Halloween porch piece.
Oh, this sounds to me, I had a couple of these. I think this is just literally a plug-in porch jack-o'-lantern. Yeah.
Ding, ding,
like,
ding!
Just immediately.
You got
I had a
it.
couple of these. Instead of, making a real pumpkin, digging it out, whatever, putting a candle in them or whatever, it's just like a plastic or wood, depending on what you got, fake pumpkin with lights in it. You plug it in. Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Boom. Done. Look at that. You got to 5 nice and quick. You're okay.
I mean, there's still a chance that the next 2 items I get 0 on. You were very generous with the first item, giving me 1 point with the witch.
I was. I don't want to see you die. I need a podcast co-host. You know what I mean?
I do.
I'm using you for your co-hosting.
What else
skills.
am I here for? I signed the contract.
The contract? There's no contract. All right. So here is your next item. We got 2 more items to go.
Okay.
So this is a review from Deanna. 3 stars. Cool for the price. I don't think they will withstand a strong gust of wind. They are styrofoam painted over.
Oh. This sounds like, I want to say, won't withstand the wind. They're styrofoam painted over.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that jumped to my mind was some kind of bats. Some kind of bats thing. Styrofoam bats that you stick on maybe your wall or door or something outside. God, who makes an outdoor decoration out of styrofoam? What is this item? It's got to be something that can be easily just destroyed. No one cares about. I want to say bats. I want to say porch bats.
Weston, I'm afraid porch bats is not it. We're gonna have to go to hint number 2.
They make out of styrofoam.
Hey, honey, we got the porch bats. They're back. The porch bats are back.
They're styrofoam. Just light them on fire.
Light them up. All right. Hint number 2. This is from Erica. 4 stars. The main head title there is great. Her actual review is perfect yard decorations. Only wish the spikes were longer so they would go into the ground farther.
Oh. Well, they're little styrofoamy yard thingies. So they're probably not bats in particular. I wonder how...
Yeah, burying bats.
I wonder how low to the ground they're... If they're like styrofoam, they can't be too complicated in shape, right? Like, they're not going to be overly complicated. Like, I don't know if they're going to be like little hands, like, sticking out of the ground like a zombie reaching up out of the earth. I bet they're tombstones. I bet they're graveyard tombstones.
Ding, ding, ding! You got it!
Hey!
You got
That's what I needed.
There were tombstones.
I was trying to think, like, what would be styrofoam? Okay.
The final hint was a review, and this pretty much gives it away at this point. It's good value for the money, don't stand up to the wind, temporary decor. Okay, whatever. It says, my kids love these for the Halloween graveyard this year.
Yeah.
I figured that would have given it away. So you got 2 more points. You are now at 7. There's
no way we're getting to 15.
With the way the points work at this point, yeah, we're not going to be able to get to 15. So, well, at least you're not going to be attacked by Slender Man.
I survived Slender Man.
But you will have to give me some shameless plugs on your next stream.
What if we make this next one worth 10, 5, and 1 points?
Oh, like a double or nothing
Yeah.
sort of thing. You want to do a double or nothing?
I
I'll
don't
do
know if we
double
should
or
do double
nothing.
or nothing. I'm gonna lose all. Wait, like double my points? Like I've got 7, right?
So what I'm saying is, you know what?
Triple or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say double or nothing.
That's only 14. I need to get 15.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Triple or nothing.
Okay, triple or
Here we
nothing.
go.
That's it. We're making it up on the spot here in Profoundish. Triple
Raising
or
the
nothing
stakes.
for the final item. Raising the stakes here. So if you don't make this one, you're back to Slender. This is
Here we
your
go, baby.
decision. You really don't want to plug my
No,
content.
Your content's terrible, and I will never.
All right, here we go for triple or nothing. So for 9 points, here's the final item. This is a review from Kathleen. Hello, Kathleen. Hope you're enjoying your evening. 4 stars. These ghosts. I just gave it away. I forgot to block out the word.
Are they ghosts?
Well, take your guess. Go ahead.
Are they fabric-y ghosts that you hang about your yard and/or house?
Damn it! I just read the first word. That was not planned. Oh my god! I forgot to censor out that word. And we did triple or nothing.
That was an easy
Well,
9 points right
it is the
there.
ghosts.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? That was
So-
me using my vampiric charm to convince Alex to slip up there and give me the points so that now he has to promote my content on his channel.
I have to promote your content on your... Dang it! Why did I agree
We got
to
a little
this?
bit of time left. I'll give you 2 options. Let's go through the reviews anyway, or if you could just scramble together one more decoration.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Let me scrabble together one more decoration here.
These ghosts. God dang it!
This is on off the cuff here. Hold on. These aren't going to be in any particular order from easier to harder, but I'm just going to pick one here. So I'm looking right now. Ooh, this will be fun. Does that have good reviews on it? Yeah, okay. Or a lot of reviews at least. Dang it, man! Screwing up. Okay, let's go. This is fun, though. This is why I love Profoundish. Okay, here we go.
Hit me.
Well, see, the problem is that when I was going through these, I had to do some research, because some of these will just say, good item.
Right, yeah. You have to
You know
find
what I
one
mean?
with
They
some
don't-
words
Or
to
they'll
it.
exactly say what the item is. So, but it makes it a lot of fun. Let's go... Ooh, okay. Absolutely love this. This is from Brooklyn Smith.
Okay.
Absolutely love this. It is much bigger than I anticipated, but that made it even better. I used this on a bar at my wedding shower. It was a hit.
Oh. I immediately think it's another type jack-o'-lantern thing, but I'm going to assume that you didn't do another pumpkin or another jack-o'-lantern. I'm going to assume you didn't. I'm going to go with it's bigger than she expected, put it on the bar. I'm thinking, again, some kind of statue. Maybe, you know what? I'm thinking like a haunted house figure. Like a haunted house statue little thing that you sit on the table, but it was bigger than she expected.
No, it's not that. It is not. Let me see if I can find another one here. I'm looking. It's just kind of hard to...
So I could imagine you would plug in this little haunted house. There'd be little lights inside of it or whatever.
Right. It's a good guess, but no. It's think more about the location of where this person
put it on
put
a
it.
bar, though. Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's maybe it's just a bowl of of gross things.
You're getting warmer. You are getting warmer. Here's a... Actually, I don't know if this will really help too much at all. At least you'll know exactly what it... So this is from Will, 2 stars. I was very excited for this, but it's made of very cheap plastic. Really cheap. The handles are even cheaper.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe it is actually a candy bucket, a candy... Not bucket, but, a candy bowl or something. We used to have one of these at my parents' house. It was a candy bowl that was kind of like half of a pumpkin shape, but it had a hand in it. So if someone reached in to grab a piece of candy, there's like a motion detector or something like that. The hand would like bend over and try to grab the like kid's hand or whatever. Maybe it's something like that, like a little candy bowl.
So, you're so warm. You're getting warmer, but I need you to be a little more specific.
I'm thinking it's
think Halloween.
Yeah.
Of course you're thinking Halloween.
I mean, candy, right?
Duh, that's what this whole game is.
What's more Halloweeny than a candy bowl, other than like a candy
than a bowl?
What do kids carry around? We always just had a bag, candy basket, like a Easter basket, candy bucket. I'm
just gonna kind of give you my own hints here because it's kind of hard to read through these and actually find some good ones that'll help you without giving it away. So. The functionality of this item that we're thinking of now is it works similarly to a bowl. I will say that. However, only a particular kind of individual would use this particular sort
it's
of
a
container.
Cauldron.
And they'd yep, it's a cauldron. That's right.
Got it. Yeah. All of a sudden, I was just like, "Oh, a particular individual, like a witch in a cauldron." Okay, that's what it was. It was a cauldron. All right.
Weston, I cannot believe I gave away that last item. I just read it. I forgot to censor
ghosts.
it.
God dang it!
it!
I love it.
Did you hear me freeze? I would have re-listened to that because I just kind of froze. Like that was the moment when he knew he effed up.
I wonder. I think it would have been funny if you just, since it was already done, like just play it off. Just keep going. See if I even guess ghosts. just play it off. Like,
yeah, you're like skeleton.
Well, it's not ghosts because he said ghosts, so maybe it's like ghosts. Is it like a phantom? Maybe it's like Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man. I'll go with that. Weston, it sounds like I'm gonna have to give you some shameless plugs. You know what? I'll tell you. I'll
tell you what. You botched it right at the end. I think I'll give you some shameless plugs on my next stream as well.
That sounds.
I think
that
that's
sounds
fair
really nice.
because at least I'm not being eaten by Slender Man, right? I didn't get nothing.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I think that's a fair trade. Yeah, you got so close to that first one too with that witch. I thought, oh man, he's already guessed witch, and yeah, I just needed to be because you asked too. You said, how specific do I need to be? And for a lot of these, a giant spider, tombstone, right? But it's like that one particular one that you guessed witch on at the beginning. It's like he's not going to get more specific than that. He's just
I'm like hanging witch, and you're like, I need a little
that
bit
witch
more.
hitting the tree.
Like, what more? What kind of witch do I need to define where the wart on her nose is?
We used to have this giant spider that would like encompass the whole ceiling. Like the body would be in the middle of the ceiling, then its legs would drape down and then go back up into each corner of the room. Have you ever seen those?
I don't know if I've seen one in person or not. I may have. I've seen, I've been in haunted houses and stuff all over, but like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's something different. But Weston, great job. You did well playing the Amazon review guessing game, Halloween Decoration Edition. Do you feel like a winner?
I feel like I didn't lose. I haven't died, so that's good. Slenderman hasn't knocked down my door like, hey, you're coming with me.
You coming with me, kid? Is that what Slenderman sounds like? Hey, kid.
I don't know if Slenderman, I guess, doesn't really talk. There was that version of Splendor Man where they had like a fashion Slender Man, maybe Splendor Man. Hey, kid,
right.
Coming with me. We're gonna go to a disco.
Oh yeah. The disco. Well, I guess we're gonna wrap it up right around here.
Yeah, I think so.
Weston, this was a lot of fun.
As always.
I appreciate you rolling with those punches as I botched it right at the end there. But we made it up. We made it through. I quickly found another Amazon decoration.
Oh man.
So hey, listen, this is the fun stuff that happens on Profoundish, and we're here for it. Weston, where can people find? First of all, where can people find us on the internet?
You can find us. That's Profoundish, with the handle @ProfoundishPod on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. use that handle to find us wherever. Of course, the podcast itself is wherever you're listening to this. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Anchor. That's where you can find Profoundish Pod.
Yes, you can find Profoundish Pod at all those places. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, be sure to leave a review, leave a rating. That would be awesome. And there's this weird glitch where if you don't leave a 5-star rating, you start to lose your toes one by one as each day goes on. So you definitely want to do 5 stars. You don't want to lose any toes.
It's a grisly affair. I forgot the first time I listened, and I'm already down 2 toes. I had to go and hit 5 stars before I lost all of them.
Right, so yeah, make sure you do that. But all right, Weston, where can people find you?
You can find me. I've got a gaming YouTube channel called Magic Man Mo. We kind of mentioned it here earlier. You can catch up on some poetry over at hastilymadedecision.com. I've got a bunch of stuff going on. In fact, if you want my landing page for everything I do, including my podcast called A Hasty Podcast, just go to my website at westonhasty.com. It's got all of my things.
Look how easy that is. You got to have that landing page. Mine is alexduquette.net. I do music medleys, original music, live stream music shows, all kinds of fun stuff. Check it out at alexduquette.net. But it's time for us to go now. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been Profoundish, and we will see you next time.
You got cut out on my side, so I just heard we're going to see next time. And I'm like, I don't know how to match your energy because you got cut off.
Yeah, I guess your speakers rejected what I was putting out there because I was see you next time. Got really high pitched. So.
All right, we'll see you all next time. Don't die in your sleep.
Yeah, don't lose your toes.
Don't let them get you. Goodbye.
Bye.